Today I'm here to talk to you about the harmfulness of DEF. I believe that we should do away with DEF, not only because it smells bad and it's primarily made up of urea, um, and when it comes out of the exhaust, just smells much worse than when you put it in. And with it being so concentrated, we can only wonder: is there anything harmful coming from it? Uh, as time has went, we have started to see long-term issues with this that it may cause, and where we may be headed with it. Only time will tell if the emission control that we currently use is helping anything, or if they did more harm than good. As we go through this speech, I will inform you on just what it is, what it's doing, and tell you what we may see if it's continued to be used. It seems like a good thing, and in some ways it is, but uh, but it is, but it is it as good as we think? The government is thinking of doing away with it because in California, the wildflowers beside the roads have started to burn off, and it's become more and more dusty there due to a large amount of contaminants and smog and pollution. Um, what is DEF and when was it created? DEF is diesel exhaust fluid. It's put into the DPF system to uh, clean down the emissions by filtering it and then uh, spraying that in. It was created by a German scientist in 1828. He was messing around with chemicals and came up with it to dilute. And in 2010, the diesel exhaust fluid was introduced into diesel vehicles, primarily used in California, since they have such a strict uh, pollution rating. And we used to have a EGR system, which was exhaust gas regulator, and it would send exhaust gas back into the intake to be reburnt. Now that had many issues, such as if there's too much soot, it'd fill up and it'd clog and bog down the engine. The new DEF, the filter can get clogged, but it has a regen where it heats up enough to burn off the contaminant. But when the EGR would get, it'd choke out the engine. And with our interest being in the well-being of the planet as well as our environment, we should really devise a better way of filtering and making emissions better, because saving one thing and killing another is not doing any good for us. What is the danger of DEF and what damage can it do? Some may ask, if it's believed to be harmful, why don't we just not run it in our vehicles? Just let it run out and go on from there. Well, the newer vehicles, they have a safety setup to where if you run out of DEF, they'll go into limp mode. In that limp mode, it won't let you get full throttle out of your vehicle, and they only allow, with the DEF filters, they only will allow you to run ultra low sulfur diesel. So if you run low sulfur diesel, it'll clog up in a day. And then if you use the non-sulfur, like the original diesel that used to be ran, it'd be clogged as soon as you started it. Now, there are pros and cons that come to the ultra low sulfur diesel. Pro is you can use it in the DPF system. Con is it doesn't oil the valves in the engine as the regular diesel would. And in doing that, engine life and performance has gone down from what it was. And they just don't have the longevity as they did. And there's more engine overhauls than there used to be. Now, some of the dangers that come along with DEF, now it's not primarily toxic to humans in low consumption. If you get it poured on you or something, it's not going to harm you per se. But if you get enough of it, it can, if you ingest it, it can cause like irritation, and it's toxic to a certain amount if you have enough of it. Now, in nature, urea, it causes algae blooms, and which when decomposes, they create a heating, when they decompose at their heating temperature, they can make a toxic gas, which mixed with certain oxidants can cause fires or even be explosive. We will only be able to tell in time what it ends up looking like, and if it continues to do damage or not, or what we do to change it. In conclusion, I hope this speech was informative as I could make it, and was clear to the fact that you can understand with no issues, with the issues that we're faced with. Thank you.